The controls are identical to that in the previous game, with players given the option to assign functions to the buttons they are most comfortable using. The weapons are also identical, with the exception of the triple rod, which has been replaced by the similar but somewhat more complex chain rod. Cyber elves are present in the game and function in the same manner as they did in the previous game. However, unlike the first game, in which 4 specific cyber elves could be transformed into health-storing sub-tanks, 2 of the 4 sub-tanks are now hidden in various stages as collectible items, as they were in the previous series, while the remaining 2 must be unlocked using cyber elves. While the first game in the series had the player select missions from a list, Mega Man Zero2 returns to the traditional stage select option found in the Mega Man and Mega Man X games, although the player can only select from 4 at a time. In addition, whereas Mega Man Zero had a large, interconnected world, none of the stages in this game are linked. New features added to the game are forms and EX skills. Forms are unlocked by completing various tasks during a mission, such as destroying a set number of enemies with the Buster Shot. Forms alter Zero's abilities in various ways, such as increasing the power of certain weapons or making him more resilient. However, they also tend to decrease performance in other areas, such as lowering attack power for increased defense or removing special attacks of the Z-Saber to enhance the Buster Shot. EX skills are unlocked if a player completes a mission with an A or S rank, allowing the player to give Zero's weapons the properties of the bosses he's defeated. Players begin the game with the Buster Shot and the Z-Saber. After the introductory mission, Zero is granted the Shield Boomerang and the Chain Rod, which replaces the Triple Rod in the previous game. As with the previous game, the player can unlock new attacks and abilities for the weapons through repeated use. There are fewer upgrades in this game. The Z-Saber has a total of 4 upgrades, while the rest only have 2. Cyber elves function in the same manner as the previous game, being single-use aids with either temporary or permanent effects on Zero or the game's levels. They are hidden throughout the game, as well as dropped by enemies. The use of cyber elves penalizes the mission score. There are 3 types of cyber elves: nurse, animal, and hacker. While certain elves can be used immediately, the larger elves need to be fed crystals in order to be used. The cost for doing so is significantly less than it was in the previous game. This game introduces the concept of forms, which can be earned by meeting certain criteria throughout the game, ranging from killing 20 enemies in a stage with a dashing slash technique to getting 25 energy capsules in one stage. Another new addition to the series is EX skills, which are similar to Mega Man's ability to copy powers from the bosses in previous series. Unlike the previous series, however, Zero has to have an A or S rank going into the stage to unlock the boss's EX skill. Unlike Mega Man's copy ability, which required weapon energy to feed the attacks, EX skills modify Zero's weapons, adding new abilities or replacing their normal abilities with an ability similar to the defeated boss. For example, the Buster Shot can be modified to fire a long piercing beam instead of its normal charged blast, while the Z-Saber gains additional moves such as a powerful rising slash. As with the first game, a new Game Plus can be played by beating the game and loading the completed save file. In the new game, Zero will start with all activated cyber elves used from the previous game still in effect. The penalties, however, will still remain. Zero will also get to keep any EX skills and alternate forms that he earned in the previous game. Additional modes can also be unlocked under proper conditions. Hard mode is unlocked by beating the game once. To play, hold L when selecting to start a new game. In hard mode, Zero starts with the Proto form, which doubles his attack strength, but halves his defense and locks his weapons at their basic level. Zero also cannot earn any EX skills or alternate forms. Beating hard mode will unlock a special image gallery option. Hold L and select when selecting new game to enter it. Unlike the other games in the series, there is no ultimate mode to be unlocked. However, an ultimate form can be unlocked by leveling up and using every cyber elf in the game. It increases all of Zero's stats and also allows him to use full charge attacks instantly by means of simplistic button combos. Mega Man Zero 2 was the 7th best-selling video game in Japan during its week of release at 53,839 copies, and climbed to the number 1 spot the following week with an additional 25,283 copies sold. The game appeared on Famitsu magazine's top 30 bestsellers list for the following 4 weeks. By the end of 2003, Mega Man Zero 2 had sold 158,479 copies in Japan alone. A common remark is that the game has not changed much in its formula since its predecessor, though they do acknowledge that improvements have been made to the stage select menus. A general complaint is the difficulty of the game, with one reviewer expressing concern that the difficulty would put some people off the game.